How's everyone doing? Green Onion Man here, coming at you with another deck profile. Today we're going to be going over zombies. Since it's Valentine's Day, what other way to honor the Valentine family than by making a zombie deck profile? So let's get into this. For card you want to open every game, Shiranui Solitaire. It's a Lone Fire Blossom for zombies, which means you contribute a zombie to special a zombie tuner with 0 defense from the deck. And its banish effect can be relevant, but not really in my build. I don't play a lot of Shiranuis or cards that get them banished. And the card you special summon off of Solitaire, we got a Uni Zombie. Great starter. He's foolish. Dumps any zombie to raise a level of a monster on the field. Not just your monsters, you can do it to your opponent's monsters, which is pretty cool. Some more versatility. So you want to see either one of those in your opening hand. Pretty much get your play started. And I opt for 3 Jack-o'-Bolan, one of your boss monsters. You pitch a zombie to special summon him, and he interacts with the graveyard during your opponent's turn. I have a spicy combo I'll showcase later in the video with him. And for the deck's boss monster, we have 3 Doom King Ballard Rock. During the standby, if you control Zombie World, these specials from the graveyard, or if any field spells face up, these specials from the grave. And you can negate a zombie monster's effect and banish a monster on the field. So it's really strong. Oh, and you have to activate a zombie effect to get the banish. So I'll showcase some test hands later. Glow Bloom, great card. When it hits the grave, you banish it, and you can add a level 5 or higher zombie to your hand. And if Zombie World's on the field, you get to special it. So you want to set up Zombie World first and start specialing the boss monster or any other piece you're missing from the deck, either him or the Jack. 2 Necro World Banshee, banishes from grave to tutor a Zombie World. Amazing card. Mizuki, I run 3 Mizuki. Some people might opt for 2 because it's bricky. I love this card. If you pitch it up Jack-o'-Bolan, you banish it from grave, it rests any zombie. And with Zombie World, every monster in your graveyard is a zombie, so you can bring back like Boral Sword Dragons and stuff. Super good for the late game grind. For interactions, since this is a control build, I'm playing a triple Ash Blossom. Kind of standard for hand traps. And for the first one up is Dark Grepher. Almost every dark hit you don't want in hand, so that's why I opted for him instead of Arma, so I can get the pitches in grave. So even if they ash the Grepher's effect, I still got a pitch in grave, and I get to use the Necro World or whatever I pitched effect still. You can bring this back with Mizuki under Zombie World, which is nice. And for the spiciest of techs, I play the one Archlord Christia. So this is foreign. What this card does is while it's face up on the field, neither player can special summon monsters. And while it's in the graveyard with Zombie World up, it becomes a zombie, so you can special it off of Mizuki. Or you can special summon it during your opponent's turn with Jack-o'-Bolan, which is one of the main plays in this deck. Try to get some negates up and Archlord, and they can't do anything. Let's get into the spells. We have to pretty much play 3 Zombie World. What Zombie World does is all monsters on the field and in the graveyard become zombie-type monsters, and neither player contributes summon monsters except for zombies. So against True Draco, you'd like auto-win if anyone's still playing that garbage deck. But it lets you do crazy combos, and you get it for free. And another amazing card this deck gets to play is 3 Super Poly. Combo to Zombie World, there's a fusion monster that takes 2 zombies, and Zombie World makes everything on the field zombies. So you just start breaking boards. 3 Called by the Grave in the main, obviously to stop hand traps, like Ash Blossom. You want to resolve your card that I'm coming up to. Pot of Extravagance. A lot of people aren't playing Pot in their zombie decks, I've noticed. I think this card's amazing in zombies. I don't think the extra deck matters as much, having such amazing boss monsters. The only thing you consistently go into is Sucker, because Glow Bloom locks you into zombies anyway. So that's why I'm playing the 3 Pot of Extravagance in the main. Some people, if you can't afford it, I mess around maybe with Pot of Desires if you're playing everything at 3, like I am. Like maybe boost up the Balandrak and the Necro Banshee to 3, and play Desires and Allure. It's another good budget option. You know, it might even be better because then it's 6 draw cards instead of just 3. I've seen other people play Instant Fusion to summon Millennium Eyes and the Thousand Eyes Restrict. But on Resolution, I just think Pot of Extravagance is the highest value card. And it's kind of hard to substitute literal Pot of Greed. That card's insane. Let's get into the one-ups. Some of these card destruction. You know, a lot of you can open a lot of dead hands, and this will fix them. And since everything works with the graveyard, it's super high value. 1 for 1, another extender. Summons the Glow of Bloom from the deck, pitching a monster. Monster Reborn. Nothing to explain with that. Foolish Burial. It's another great one of. And the Spicy Tech. I've been using this card for a while. I like it a lot. As Jewels of the Valiant. So it's a continuous spell. And if exactly one monster is banished from the graveyard and no other cards are banished at the same time, except during the damage step, you could send one card or one. You could send from your deck to the graveyard one monster that has a different attribute from the banished monster. So what is nice to get is if you banish a Necrold Banshee, you could dump the Christia to get the combo to stop them from special summoning, or you can just dump a Mizuki, and it stays on the board, so it's like a once per turn Foolish. Very, very strong. And I'll just say now, this is a 45 card build. You know, you can make adjustments where you see fit, but I think this build is really strong. Thought a lot about these choices. We're going with 2 Infinite Impermanence. Just amazing hand trap. Can't be stopped by Called by the Grave. Negates a monster, and if you set it, it negates any spell or traps in that column that you activated it in. So you can catch people off guard, or set it in front of a continuous trap, floodgate that's giving you a hard time. Speaking of floodgates, 3 Rivalry of the Warlords. This card is amazing with Zombie World because all monsters are zombie types, and since you can only control one type of monster, your opponent's basically locked out of their deck. Since they have zombies on the board, they can only summon zombies, but unless you're playing the mirror match, they're not going to be having any zombies in their deck. Maybe like an Ash Blossom or something. And last but not least, I'm maining 3 Solemn Judgment. You can opt to side this, but I think cards like Evenly Matched and Lightning Storm are just so strong. I wanted to have these in the main because even though I play a lot of going second cards in case I lose a die roll, I always opt to go first with this deck because you want to set up cards like Rivalry and all your negates and stuff. So let's get into that extra deck. There is one card I'd recommend swapping that I don't have an extra copy of, sadly. Let's start with the Sinkers first. Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragon. This thing is amazing to close out games. Under Zombie World, it gets huge, gaining 100 attack and defense for each zombie monster on the field and in the graveyard. And when another zombie is destroyed by battle, you can special summon a zombie from either graveyard. So with Zombie World up, you kill anything and you special anything from either grave. Pretty insane. Omega, it's at 1 for a reason. It recycles your banish into the graveyard, so you can throw during your opponent's standby. You throw back Mizuki's, and it rips a card out of your opponent's hand. Amazing card, super high value. Sad it's at 1, but it deserves it. And instant fusion super poly targets. We got our Starving Venom and our Dragon Necro. Starving Venom takes care of dark monsters in case you don't open the Zombie World. And with Zombie World, this clears any board. Any 2 monsters, you just eat them with the Super Poly. And it's pretty broken because they can't react to the Super Poly. And if they try to pop the Zombie World, you just chain Super Poly anyway. So it's pretty much always going to be resolving. This card, since we're playing Extravagance, I'd switch it for another Zombie Necro. So I can have in case I banish it with Extrav. But I didn't have one, so I'm putting it to Garrison for now. Just have it at 15. But I would swap this out for another Dragon Necro if you have it. Let's get into the links. We play 2 Link Karibo. This is primarily for the Glow Bloom. I'll show a play with Link Karibo into why it's a lot better to run it than not play it. And we go with 2 Nightmare Phoenix. I was debating on doing 1 Nightmare Phoenix and 1 Tornado Dragon because a Tornado Dragon gets a double pop. But a Nightmare Phoenix, the utility of just being able to slap any 2 monsters together to get the pop is just more valued in my opinion. So I opted with double Nightmare Phoenix. And You know, the one Nightmare Unicorn, another amazing card. I wouldn't be surprised if you wanted to bump that one up to 2 as well. Unicorn's a great card. This is debatable. 2 Vampire Sucker. If you're scared of the Extrav, you can play 3 because this is probably the most summoned link in the game. I'll probably bump this up to 3. I'm still debating on that. I like having a lot of versatility in the extra, so we'll see. If you feel like you should run 3, then run 3. I will not blame you on that. And for the rest of the links, we're doing 1 Appaloosa. You know, this card's broken, a bunch of negates, kind of standard. Running this guy. This would probably be the one. If you don't have one of these, just swap it out for a Vampire Sucker. No need to spend a bunch of money. I just have this card lying around, and I've been wanting to test it out. So I'll let you guys know how this works out in this deck. It's nice because you can keep summoning that with Mizuki after it's been properly link summoned. Same with Boral Sword's another great one. You know, just for the OTKs. Swap attack position monster to defense, and it can attack again. It's 3k. This thing's insane. Well, that's it for the extra deck. Now let's get into the side. We're going with 3 Nibiru. I think Nibiru plus Super Poly is a great just for breaking boards. Opening either or, you should be pretty set depending on what deck you're playing against. Oh, when Nibiru does when your opponent successfully does their, or not successfully, but after they do their 5th summon, you can special summon it and you nuke the board, blow up all monsters. Card's pretty crazy. And we also run, there's just some good going second cards. I'm playing 1 Lightning Storm, which if you control no face-up cards, you can monster nuke and spell nuke. You can choose either or. You can either Duster or Regeki. The card's broken. The reason I'm not opting more, other than the fact that I don't have them, is that I feel like I always have Zombie World up. So if I draw it, it could be dead. Unlike Twin Twisters, which is another just great back row removal. Playing this just in case. I know Spirals are playing Anti-Spell as well. And Lightning Storm can't pop an Anti-Spell. So that's another nice thing about Twin Twister. And we go with Double Evenly. I think this card is so busted. In a lot of scenarios, it's even better than Lightning Storm, being able to banish your opponent's board face down. They can't reuse their resources. Nothing floats, etc. And for going first, I'm running the Artifact Engine. The Artifact Engine shines in this deck really hard because of Jackal Bulan. While you have Zombie World up, if there's a Scythe in your graveyard, it's considered a zombie. So you can just banish the Jack and then just special Scythe. And then, unlike Christia, if you're playing against a deck that's heavy extra deck based, you can just keep your own normal or your own special summons, and you summon this and like stun them for a turn, and then your Jack just comes back, and you just keep amassing value without having to lock yourself out as special summoning. So I think the Artifact Engine is insane in zombies. And the 2 one-ofs is 1 Imperial Order. Kind of explains itself. It literally negates all spell cards. Pretty insane. Against spell decks, you just kind of auto-win. And last but not least, the 1 Suarez. This is for, if I get impermanent, I'm just going to side this in. The main thing, I couldn't think of another side deck card, so I just saw this lying around. I was like, alright, let's try this out. So Suarez stops targeting on a monster, negates a card that would target a monster you control. So you can hit imperms and stuff. Pretty nice. Alright, without further ado, let's do some combos and some test hands. Oh, before I go into the test hands, let's go over that Glow Bloom play I was talking about with Link Kariba. So I'd start off by playing the Zombie World. Then normal summoning Glow Bloom. Then, you know what? Oh, that's fine. So normal summon Glow Bloom. Then we'd Link for Link 1. We go for Link Kariba. Let's just pretend that's the extra monster zone. Effect of Glow Bloom in graveyard. When it hits the graveyard, you can banish it to add a level 5 or higher zombie from your deck to your hand. This locks me into zombies, by the way. So we'd special summon the Doom King from the deck. And then since both of this is usually a side burst, but since Zombie World's on the field, it becomes a zombie. So we can link them both away to the graveyard for a Vampire Sucker. And during your opponent's standby phase, you activate a Balandrax effect since there's a face-up field spell, and he special summons himself. And then Vampire Sucker triggers whenever a zombie special from the graveyard, you get a draw card. So that's just like a nice 2-card combo, and it gets you a lot of value on board. So wanted to go over that one for you guys. Now let's get into some test hands. Okay, this is looking pretty decent. Alright, this isn't the worst hand I've seen. So, read Extravagance. Let's see what we banish. Alright, perfect. See, at least as long as you keep a Vampire Sucker, you're pretty good. So then we'll draw 2, a Grepher, and a Ash Blossom. So we can, how would I do this hand? So we play Zombie World, and I would, should I just special this? Yeah. Pitch that to grave to special the Grepher. Then I'd activate Grepher's effect, and I'd pitch the Glow Up Bloom to send a dark monster to the graveyard. Honestly, I think we just send either another Balandrak for later, or like a Uni. There's no point in sending Uni. Yeah, I think I just send another one of these guys. Just to have engrave. And then whatchamacallit triggers. Glow Bloom triggers, sorry about that. Banishing it from grave to special level 5 or higher zombie from the deck. And of course we grab Jack. We grab Daddy Jack. And since I specialed the Dark Grepher by pitching the Balandrak, I still have my normal. Whoa. I could have sworn I just grabbed a Jack-o'-Boolan. Oops. It's kind of hard looking through doing this through the camera. Apologies. Alright. So we haven't used a normal summon yet. And then normal summon. Then I'd link 2 into my Vampire Sucker. And with this board, I couldn't even have triggered the sucker to draw this turn, so it didn't really matter that I drew off the Extravagance. And then and I have this in hand too, I have the Ash. So during their turn standby phase, this gets specialed. So I gotta draw 1. And they have to play through the negate, and I can trigger the banish off of Ash or with the Jack-o'-Boolan. And they have to deal with the Jack-o'-Boolan. So it's like four interruptions they need to deal with. And if they don't clear my board or kill me, and I just have like I have another Necroworld Banshee and a Balandrak to follow up. So they'd have to break my board and banish my grave. And I have 4 interruptions. So that's pretty nutty. That's a good hand. I just like the strength Extravagance adds is just insane. It's literally just Pot of Greed. Like, fuck the cost. The cost is like not even that bad. We take those. That's the other thing you gotta remember about zombies is you have a really good grind game, especially with how Bellandrak just keeps coming out during each standby for free, and your suckers just keep netting you the +1s. You just have a really strong grind. Let me adjust my camera a little bit, guys. I want to do proper zoning, so I feel kind of bad not doing that. I know some people like the proper zoning and all that stuff. Let me just zoom out a bit. All right. Well, let's see if you guys can see fine. Okay. Let's see. So Rivalry, Glow of Bloom, Ash Blossom, Solitaire, and Solitaire. Okay, so this is a good hand as well. If we were going first, you'd normal summon Solitaire, activate Solitaire's effect, tribute him to the graveyard to special summon a zombie tuner with 0 defense. And of course that gets us our Uni Zombie. Uni Zombie effect target himself, raises level to 4 to send a zombie from the deck to the graveyard. And then we dump the Necroworld Banshee. Banshee effect. You banish her from grave to play a zombie world from your deck onto the field. Get ourselves a zombie world right into the field zone. Boom. Sorry the cards are a little far away. I'll explain them though, so if you're having trouble seeing. And after that, you can use his effect again, a secondary effect. You can raise his level by pitching a card from hand. So I pitch the Bloom. Bloom triggers. And it's irrelevant that he's level 5. It's not like we're making any Xyzs or Synchros right now. So we summon the Bell from deck. Oh, I should leave it like that. Then we link these two away for our link to Vampire Sucker. Ooh, that looks really far away. And then we'd set the Rivalry and standby phase, Ballandrak triggers, summon, Sucker triggers. We gotta draw 1. And like if this board's broken, this just rebuilds the board. The Solitaire and the Banshee will rebuild it. You have to play through the Rivalry as well. And what would I have drawn for turn? That would have been nice in hand, but I also have the Ash Blossom for the negate, which also triggers the Ballandrak banish. I'd say that was another successful hand. I will, I'm going to zoom it back into 1 though, because that just looks like it's hard to see. I guess can I just scoot this down? Sorry about this, guys. I'm trying to give you the best viewing experience. I know the thing is zoning doesn't really matter too much with this deck. I'm not really seeing a lot of zoning issues. I'll just show it up close so you guys can see the cards better. But like, look, this is doing pretty consistently. I'm not like pausing your video or anything. Okay, this hand. All right. Well, we go for the Extrav, and if it didn't get negated, we'd have the card destruction follow up, which is nice. So let's shuffle and banish our 6. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna say this now. I would play 3 Sucker. I think I'm thinking about bumping it up already because of how important she is. But you know, I haven't really been hitting her, so I think it's fine too. Like I said, just like that one can be left up to preference. I think I might not get it up to 3. So if you're already thinking about playing 3, then more power to you. Wow. Oops, I should show you guys. Well, we didn't hit both, so we're all Gucci. And then we get our draw 2. So hopefully, boom. All right, we're good. Hey, we only needed one of them. So, the draw resolved. Let's go Solitaire. Tribute to snatch us up our second Uni-Zombie from the deck. Uni-Zombie. Effective Uni-Zombie to send a monster to the graveyard. Oh, from the... Apologies. I'm going to use its effect to pitch from hand and raise its level. You always want to get the zombie world up first, obviously, before you dump the bloom. That would have been a misplay. So let's banish her to grab the zombie world. Let's see where this bad boy is. Boom. Zombie world. That obviously goes in the field zone. Just trying to let you guys see. And then we'd use Uni-Zombie's effect. And then we dump the Glow Bloom to grave. When Bloom hits grave, it triggers banish to add a level 5 or higher zombie. And the standard combo, then after you add it, special. Then we can link these away for a link 2. And then we get a Imperm Judgment set for the evenly matched and everything. And this comes in on the standby. So we net another draw. Let's see. Let's shuffle this up. Let's see what we draw. Boom, an Ash Blossom. Oh, that was pretty lucky. Well, like, this was like a tough board to play through. I'm pretty sure this is a fat GG. This board. I think people underestimate Ballardrek's power too. The card's actually nutty. Okay, now we'll do one more test hand, and then I'm gonna just show you guys another combo in case I don't draw it. Hopefully I can just draw it right now to show you guys. 2, 3. Oops. 4, 5. Well, this is another standard combo hand. I'll show one more of these, and then I'll show 2 other combos. Tribute. 2 special. My boy Goblin. Or Uni-Zombie, sorry. Effective Uni. I already have Pitch Banshee in hand to raise his level. Effective Banshee. Let's grab the zombie world. Might have passed one. And then his effect, we're gonna dump the bloom. I think I just passed one also. Whatever. Then we get banished. Then you special Ballardrek, and then you hope they can't play through the 2 called by the graves and the negate. This hand wasn't that good. I guess we had a hand trap. I'm gonna stop some hand traps. But even then, like, you know, this might not be the best hand, but like you can see how consistent this deck is. Standby special. Boom. You get a draw. Now you have your follow-up play. And I would have set the call by the graves, obviously, if I didn't use them. And then we draw super poly, so we can just break any board. Yeah, that's good. All right, now let me showcase. I think there's like 2 combos I'd like to show. Okay. Just to showcase some of the potential hands you can draw. Let's say I activate Jules. Normal summon Solitaire. Activate effective Solitaire. Tribute to special Uni. Effective uni. We dump the Banshee. Then we banish Banshee just to activate the... And then Jewels activates when exactly one monster is banished, like a dump. We will dump our Archlord Christia to the graveyard. So here's the grave. Got the Solitaire and the Christia in there. Oops, don't even think I need a shuffle. Alright. And then we'd special summon Jack-o'-Bulan by pitching the Glow Bloom. Effect of Glow Bloom vanishes itself. And then we get a special Valor. So I've done the pitch from the deck and the hand. And then we'd link these two away for our Vampire Sucker. And this is where the nuttiness begins. You pass turn during your opponent's standby. Boom, you get a special Ballardrak. You get a draw. Can be anything. And then you can swap out your Jack. Summon the Christia, and then this just comes back. And they just can't special. And you have a Banisher and a Negate. And that's pretty gross. Because Christia is disgusting. And it was an Ash that I drew. We did look at the draw. So it just shows this deck is pretty hot. Pretty hot. And just remember, when you open like Mizuki extenders, they could either be used like for late game grind, or you can just try to combo out if you are playing rank 4s, or if you're playing the synchros, you can just try to like throw an Omega on top with the rest of the board. So let me know what you guys think. I'll see how much I can cut down this video. I don't want to make it too long, but I also want it to be informative. I want you guys to know how to play the zombie deck. I just don't want to showcase it. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if I went too in-depth or not in-depth enough. All your feedback helps, and I appreciate it. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Lets me know I'm doing a good job. Lets me know what kind of content you guys want. So that'll be it for today. Thanks, guys, and peace.